And we're going to start our practice, so the yin portion of our practice this morning, on your back. And if you're using blocks or props, I would recommend them for this shape. We're going to take reclined butterfly to start. So soles of the feet together, knees wide. And then just coming to lay on your back, and you can scoot your blocks or whatever you're using here, your books, underneath your knees for some extra support. You can also just let the knees fall down towards the mat if you're not using props. And then go ahead and bring maybe one hand to your belly here, one hand to your chest, or both hands to your belly if that feels good. And just begin to let your body settle in. Let your knees melt down towards the floor or into your props. Let your hips get nice and heavy. And feel the backs of the shoulders relaxing down into your mat. And that connection between the back of your head and your mat as well. So just feeling this sense of groundedness here. And then as we let the body kind of drop in and settle, we're going to start to settle the nervous system and the mind with the breath. So we're going to take a 3-part breath here. On the inhale, you'll let the belly inflate all the way down to the bottom. And then feel that inflation move up into the chest. And then nice, long, slow exhale out of the nose. So we'll do a few more rounds of that 3-part breath. Inhale down to the belly. Inhale up to the chest. And exhale out of the nose. A few more times here. And feel your hands rise and fall as you breathe. Feel the muscles start to melt down a little bit more. Bones heavy. As the breath just kind of washes through, encourages every part of your body and your system to relax. And one more round of breath. Okay, and then from here, we're going to extend the legs long on the mat, reach the arms up overhead, coming into a full body stretch, like a good morning stretch. You can point through your toes, get nice and long. And then we'll bring both hands over to the top right corner of your mat, both feet to the bottom right corner, so same side, coming into Banana Asana. So this is just a nice stretch for the side body. And when you get there, you might want to adjust, sending the hips over to the left a little bit. And here, we want to think about relaxing the hips down into the floor again, right? The shoulders relax down. And we're feeling this stretch all the way from the left fingers down the left side of the body to the left toes. So option here to cross that left ankle over the right. For me, I start to feel a bit more of a stretch into the left hip when I do that. You can also turn your chin up and to the left. And just notice how that changes the stretch for your neck. And in this shape, see if you can focus your breath wide into the left ribs. So that space in the left lung, feeling it expand as you inhale. And then fall and soften as you exhale. Again, here we want to encourage the body to relax using the breath. And it might take some time, especially if you've had a busy morning or a busy week. The mind might be a little chatty or the body may feel a little restless. Just know that that's normal. It's okay. Let yourself be right where you are. Maybe give the mind something to do by following the breath. Right, the in and the out. Last few moments on this side. Of course, if you always want to linger in a shape a little bit longer, you're welcome to do that. When you're ready, you'll slowly and gently make your way back through the center. Let's give those shoulders a little break. Again, bringing the hands somewhere on the body or maybe down by your sides. You can bring your feet nice and wide here. It can feel good for the lower back. And then again, just let yourself rest. Taking a rebound between sides to notice what you feel. Maybe you feel a bit more space on that left side. Maybe you feel some sensation or some energy kind of moving down the left side of the body. Yeah, and right here on your back, let's take a big breath in together. And then exhale, clear it out your mouth. Good, we'll come into that full body stretch again, reaching the arms overhead, pointing through the toes, getting nice and long, take up space. And then both hands over to the left top corner of your mat, both feet to the bottom left corner. Again, same side, making this banana or half moon shape with the body. And then option to cross that right ankle this time. Another option to turn the chin up and to the right. Now we're sending the breath into that right lung, the intercostal muscles between the ribs. And I always like to imagine my breath nice and wide here, almost like the gills of a fish, into the side of the body. Notice here if there's any tension kind of creeping up into the jaw. Try to soften. Relax the space around your eyes, between your eyebrows. And again, here after a few breaths, maybe the body starts to settle down even more. You feel those shoulder blades resting in your mat. The ribs might kind of fall into the front of the body. And the belly here is nice and soft. A few more moments on this side. Okay, and then nice and slow again, coming back through the center. Take your time, there's no rush. We'll find that rebound again. Arms and hands can come down and rest on the body. Feet can go nice and wide. Deep, full breath in. And breath out. All right, and then from here, we're going to start to draw the knees in towards the chest. Give them a little squeeze. I always like to start by rocking side to side, just massaging the lower back. Yeah, and then start to circle those knees using the hands like you're stirring a big pot of soup over to the left. So you can take these circles as big or as small as you'd like. But again, we're just feeling into the lower back, that space around the kidneys. Might even feel some stuff moving in the outer hips. And then the next time the knees are over to the left, just let them fall into an easy twist. If you're using props for this practice, it can feel nice to bring a block or a blanket between the knees for some support. And then we'll let that right arm fall open to the right. Gaze will follow those fingers. You might even walk the hand up a little bit, kind of making a diagonal shape here with that right arm. It can give you a bit of a stretch for the front of the chest and the front of the shoulder. And then again here, think about allowing everything to just heavy down into your mat. Right, your mat and the ground beneath you supporting you. As we gently open and breathe into all of those muscles and layers of tissue along the spine. Sometimes in a twist it can feel nice to take some clearing breaths out of the mouth, right? Almost like a wringing out of the body and the breath here. Releasing any tension or stress that might be stuck in the body. Let's take about 3 more breaths on this side. Maybe that right ear and right cheek can just drop down towards the floor a little more, getting your neck involved in the twist. And then after your 3 breaths, we'll slowly come back through the center. If you have a prop between your knees, just go ahead and release. And then again, we'll draw those knees in, give them a little squeeze, and then start to circle over to the right, using the hands, taking those circles small or a bit wider. You might pause in a spot that feels like it needs a little extra love. Good, and the next time the knees are all the way over to the right, just let them drop. Prop between the knees if you did so on the other side. And then extending that left arm wide. Gaze will be your fingers. An option here to bring that left hand a little bit higher, again, moving the stretch into the front of the chest. And you can see here, I'm using my right hand to just gently guide the knees towards the floor. I'll give you a bit of a deeper stretch. Good, breathing into this twist. Nice, easy breath. Just letting it flow. 3 more rounds here in your twist. And maybe that left ear and left cheek kind of drops down towards the mat even more. Okay, and then from here, if you have a prop between your knees, remove it. We're just going to roll onto that right side for fetal pose. You can use your bottom arm here as a pillow. Again, taking a little rebound just to notice what you feel in your body. And giving your body time to integrate in between shapes. All right, and your next breath in, use that left hand to gently press yourself up. We're going to come to a seat, swing that left leg around. We're taking deer shape here, so I'm kind of making like a pinwheel shape with the legs. That left shin is parallel-ish towards the top of the mat, and that back leg is bent, back foot towards the back of the mat. And then again, if you're using props, it might be nice to bring a block or a pillow in front of your arms here. We're just going to fold forward over that right shin, so the front shin, and then let the knees, let the hips relax down into the floor. So we're getting a stretch here for the outer right hip. You might even feel this into the glute muscle a little bit and the front of the back thigh. Remember, nice deep breaths. Try to relax the muscles in your face. Nice, one more round of breath. And then mindfully begin to walk yourself up. Listen close, you're going to bring the hands behind your hips here. A little bit of hip mobility. Start to turn the knees up towards the sky and then over towards the back of your mat. So same shape, just facing the opposite side of your mat. And that left shin will be in front this time for deer pose. That right knee is bent out to the right, back foot back. Good, take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, start to fold over that left leg. Again, maybe bringing your forearms down to a prop or even down to the floor. Nice full breaths. All right, last round of breath here. And then again, moving slowly and mindfully, walking yourself up. Hands will come behind your hips for that hip mobility, knees up towards the ceiling, and then back over to the top of your mat. We're going to set up for child's pose. So feet together, knees wide. Arms reaching forward, forehead will relax down into the floor. Really think about relaxing your hips towards your heels. It might feel nice to rock the forehead side to side a couple of times, just massaging that space around your eyes. And then from here, we'll bend the elbows, bring the palms together overhead, and then start to drop the hands back towards the shoulder blades. Just feeling a stretch for the front of the chest, fronts of the shoulders and the biceps. And release, bring your arms back forward. And take an inhale to lift yourself up to tabletop, hands and knees. And so starting to bring a little bit more energy and movement into the practice now. Use an inhale to drop your belly and lift your gaze up towards the ceiling, cow pose. And then an exhale to round through your spine, pull your chin in towards your chest. We'll do this a few more times. So inhale, tailbone lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, press the back of your heart towards the sky. Nice, and keep going here with your breath. You might add in some neck circles, especially if you're feeling some tension in the neck and shoulders. You may even wag your tail side to side. Really any organic movement that feels good in your body today. Just letting the breath flow through. Let's take 3 more rounds here. Remember that pops and cracks in the body are normal. Okay, and then after your 3 rounds of breath, we'll come back to that neutral spine. Extend your left leg behind you, right arm's gonna reach forward. We'll take a big breath in, and as you inhale, activate that left glute, lift that back heel a little bit higher. On your exhale, elbow to knee, draw in, but move nice and slow, try to make contact. And then inhale, everything will extend, activate that left glute, lift the heel. Exhale, elbow to knee. Good, nice control. Inhale, lengthen, lift that back heel. Exhale, draw it in and tap. One more time, lengthen. And then if supported side plank, right hand plants. Right foot kickstands out to the side, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Good, so really press into that bottom knee here to lift the hips. So you'll feel a stretch at the front of the hips. And then we'll extend that top arm overhead so you get a nice big stretch for the side body. And a little bit deeper than our banana shape on the floor. And on your next breath in, get light in that bottom hand as you use the belly and the breath to lift all the way up and over gate pose. Nice, so gaze up towards those top fingers here, and then gaze down towards your back foot, a little stretch for the neck. Then gaze back up towards the ceiling, and then windmill your hands to the mat. Puppy pose, Anahatasana. So we'll walk the hands forward and out. Melt the chest towards the floor. So the forehead might meet the mat here, or the chin might meet the mat. This is a little bit different from child's pose because the hips are lifted towards the sky. So we're getting a nice big stretch for the sides of the body here, the front of the chest. Just one more deep breath. And we'll slowly walk back up. Again, take any movement that feels good, maybe cat and cow again, or some hip circles. Sometimes I like to lift up my feet, roll out the ankles. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll set up the other side. So left arm reaches, right foot reaches back, and imagine you're stamping your right foot on the wall behind you here, at the back of the room. Take a breath and lift that back heel higher to activate the right glute. And then exhale, elbow to knee, tap it and round through your spine. Inhale, lengthen, really moving with breath. Exhale, tap. Nice. Inhale, lengthen, abdominals working. Exhale, tap. One more time, lengthen here, and then plant that left palm. Kickstand the left foot, supported side plank, right arm reaches tall. And then to set this up, again, we want to press into that bottom knee to lift those hips. Press into the blade edge of your back foot if you can. Start to reach that top arm up and overhead, extending the stretch all the way down the right side of the body. And then use an inhale to lift yourself all the way up and over gate pose. Good, gaze up towards that left hand, and then gaze down towards your back foot. Inhale, we'll bring your gaze back up. Windmill your hands to the mat. Come back to your tabletop, tuck your hips, find your downward facing dog. So big full body stretch here. I always like to pedal out the feet, kind of feel into the hamstrings, right, the calf muscle. Spread your fingers nice and wide here in your down dog. And then take an inhale, come high up onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, press your belly towards your thighs. Exhale, relax the heels back down towards the floor. We do that a couple more times. So inhale, lift high on those tippy toes. Exhale, melt the heels. They don't need to touch the mat. Good, one more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll lift up onto those tippy toes and we'll gaze forward towards the front of the mat. Start to walk your feet up towards your hands. One footprint at a time. When you get to the top, it's a dangle pose. So nice deep bend here in the knees. Rest your belly on your thighs if you can. We're going to relax the head and neck towards the floor. And then option here to grab opposite elbow. You might sway side to side. You can even interlace your hands behind your head or interlace your hands behind your back and reach that leg forward. Wherever you are, keep softening the crown of your head towards the floor. Keep lifting your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Good, last breath here. And then keep that deep bend in your knees. We're going to roll vertebra by vertebra up to stand, nice and slow, like a zombie roll. Head and neck come up last. Good, when you get to the top, arms reach out and up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring the hands in prayer, heart center, Samasthiti. Good, feel your feet where they are. Feel your hands pressing into each other. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Then on your next inhale, reach both arms up again. Exhale, fold all the way down to your mat. Hinge at your hips. Good. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. So fingertips to shins. Find a flat back here. And then Uttanasana, fold over your legs. Again, we'll press into the feet, rise up to stand, reach it up. And then gather your hands in prayer, heart center, Samasthiti. You might feel some buzzing, some energy moving through the body here. Next breath in, we reach it up. Breath out, we fold forward, using the whole exhale to take you all the way down to your mat. Good, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Uttanasana, fold. One more time, rise and reach up, get tall. And then bring the hands in prayer, heart center, Samasthiti. Okay, from here we're going to start to work our way into our standing sequence. So start to bring your weight into your right foot. The left knee is going to come up into your chest. So it might be helpful to find a spot in front of you to gaze at that's not moving as you find your balance here. Little wiggles in the ankle, feel that standing leg working. Take a breath in. On your exhale, open arm twist to the left. So right arm forward, left arm back. And see if you can keep that left knee pulling up high into the chest. Keep reaching with your hands towards opposite ends of the room or opposite ends of your mat. Good, super strong. Try not to hold your breath in this twist. Nice, and then that back arm will go down and up, eager pose. Take a big breath in, lift that left knee. On your exhale, send that left foot back. We're going to take a supported warrior 3. So either bringing your hands down to the mat or down to a block or prop if you have one. And we're starting with this support so we can really set up the shape, right? That left hip is rolling down towards the floor. That left heel is pulling up towards the ceiling, and then the crown of the head is reaching forward. So kind of a capital letter T here with the body. Think about length from the crown of your head to your back heel. Nice, I know lots of work happening in that standing leg. Take a breath in. On your exhale, kundalini squat, knee to knee, sit nice and low. Yeah, and then inhale, lift, come back to that supported warrior 3. Exhale, kundalini squat, get low. Yeah, breathe in, lift. Breathe out, kundalini squat. This time, power up, start to open out, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So again, using your proper hands on the floor as you lift that left leg, and we're opening the hip now towards the wall or the wide edge of your mat. And see here if you can pull your sits bones towards each other, working to stack that top shoulder over the bottom. Again, challenging your balance, staying with your breath. And if you fall out, just get back in, right? No big deal. It's just yoga. Good, so strong. One more breath. And then listen, we're gonna roll to standing splits. So hands will come to frame that right foot. Left heel or left toes will reach up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. And breath out. On your next inhale, it's kundalini squat, just one more time. And then try to find a flat back here as you rise up, power up that left knee. So same knees coming up into the chest. I know, it's a lot of work, y'all got it. Start to cross that left ankle over the right thigh, figure 4. So we're gonna sit nice and low in this shape. Again, great place for a prop underneath your hands. Now we're feeling a stretch for the left glute, the back of the left leg. Lots of sensation happening in that right standing leg. You got it. Be present with your breath. Okay, your next inhale will start to lift you up. And then listen, that left knee is going to go wide and out, stepping back to warrior 1. Woo. Giving that front leg a little bit of a break. Okay, really set this shape up here. So nice deep bend in that front knee. Back toes are kind of making like a 45-degree angle on the mat. And the hip bones are facing forward-ish, right, as much as you can here. We're going to interlace the hands behind the back. Take a big breath in to open your heart towards the ceiling. And then a big breath out to fold forward, humble warrior. That right shoulder is coming inside the right knee. And here, try to keep the heels of your hands together. That might mean that the elbows need to bend a little bit. That's okay. Again, we want to relax the crown of the head down towards the floor. And notice here, right, there might be some little wiggles and movement happening in the ankles. This is still a balancing shape. You still want to support the body with breath. All right, y'all, from here, release your hands. We're going to take a halfway lift. Pivot those back toes so they're facing the front of the mat. Setting up for pyramid pose. So that right hip is pulling up and back, and the left hip is down and forward. Bring your right hand to your lower back and see if you can kind of even out the space here, like I could set a glass of water on your lower back. Yeah, and then when you find that balance, take a breath in, lengthen your spine, and then a breath out to fold forward and soften into the shape. Breathing into the back of that right leg. Nice, one more time, we'll find a halfway lift. Start to pivot over to the right. We're gonna bend the knees and come to sit between the feet, Gomukhasana. Oh, it's a big stretch for those outer hips, right? But we prepared the body in deer pose at the beginning of our practice. So option here, if this feels like way too much for the hips, you can always extend that bottom leg. We have the right leg on top. And sometimes I like to take a little bind here with the hands, bringing the peace finger and thumb around the big toes. Sit up nice and tall, take a big breath in. And then exhale, you might start to fold forward over the legs. It doesn't take much to feel a lot of sensation in this shape, right? So just be mindful. Going as deep as you need to feel a stretch, but where you can still be present with your breath and your body. We're not here for too long, just a couple more rounds. And if you took that bind, just release, walk yourself back up. We'll come out the same way we came in, so pivoting to the top of your mat. And then just step that back foot up to meet your front. Find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, reach up, get tall. Hands meet in prayer, heart center, Samastiti. All right, other side. Start to bring your weight into your left foot. That right knee's coming up into your chest. Lift it nice and high. Again, find a spot in front of you to gaze at, right? Drishti, focus. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, open arm twist to the right. So left arm forward, right arm back. And the gaze might follow that back thumb. Again, if you fall out, it's all good. Just get back in. Keep lifting that right knee nice and high. Keep opening your arms nice and wide. Okay, and then we'll bring that back arm down and up, egret pose. Supported warrior 3. Send that right foot to the back of your mat, moving nice and slow and with control. Good, so hands down to the mat or down to a block. We're rolling that right hip towards the floor. Nice and long spine here. Think about length. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, Kundalini squat, knee to knee, sit nice and low. Yeah, inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, Kundalini squat. One more time, lengthen and lift. Kundalini squat. Power up with that bottom leg as you open out, half moon. So opening through those hips, that right leg lifts. Keep flexing your toes like you're stamping your foot on the wall. And then reach that top arm up. Yeah, think about up here in this shape. Good, staying with your breath. Maybe you can stack the shoulders. And last inhale. And then exhale, rolls you back down to the mat, standing splits. Hands will frame that bottom foot. Lift your back heel towards the ceiling. Relax your head and neck. And one time, Kundalini squat. And then inhale, power up. Right knee's coming back up into your chest. Good. Figure 4, cross it over, sit nice and low. And then again, option here to bring your hands down to the mat, down to a block. You might even just rest your forearms on your shin, whatever feels best as you breathe into that right glute and the right hip. And we're feeling lots of sensation in that left leg, the standing leg, right? So we want to send it breath, send it energy. You got it. All right, and then we'll come up with control. Last time, right knee up into your chest. Start to open it out to the right and then step back, find your warrior 1. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Palms interlace behind your back. Big breath in, lift your heart. Breath out, humble your warrior. Left shoulder inside that left knee. Heels of the hands together, crown of the head towards the floor. Release your bind. Take that halfway lift, pivot your back toes to the front of the mat, lengthen your spine, and then again, really find that balance, that flat lower back here. Use your left hand, and when it feels even and stable, start to fold over that front leg, pyramid pose, deep breaths. One more time, halfway lift. Pivot over to the left, bend your knees, and start to sit between the feet. So both sits bones come down to the mat. Go ahead and adjust the feet. Again, you might straighten that bottom leg if that feels better. Option to take the bind with the big toes, peace finger and thumb wrap around. Take a big breath in, find some length in your spine. And then breath out to fold forward. Breathing into those outer hips, right? The IT band, that can be a lot of stress and tension hanging out in there. So just be easy with yourself. Last couple breaths. We'll start to slowly walk yourself out, coming out the same way we came in. Pivot to the top of your mat. Step your back foot up to meet your front. Halfway lift. Fold and exhale. Inhale, rise to stand, reach tall. Hands in prayer, heart center, Samasthiti. Good, and then one more time, breathe in, reach it up. Breathe out, fold forward. Halfway lift. Come down to your seat. Good, extend your legs in front of you, setting up for Paschimottanasana. So we're going to take this as a bit more of an active shape. The toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. Arms will reach up as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just start to hinge forward at the hips. Reaching for the feet or the ankles. And keeping the heart pulling towards the toes so we get this big stretch for the backs of the legs and the lower back. And then after a few breaths here in this active shape, you might allow the spine to round a little bit more and just kind of soften into your folds. Walk yourself back up. We're coming all the way down to the back. So you might scoot your seat forward and then just come all the way down. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug, just like we did at the beginning of our practice, rocking side to side. Happy baby, bending the knees outside of the ribs. Feet go up towards the ceiling. You might grab for the outer ankles or the outer edges of your feet. Try to keep the whole spine connected with the floor here. And then maybe take a few rocks side to side, again, massaging all those muscles along the spine. And then breathing all the way down into your lower belly. Good, if you have a hold of your feet, release. Extend them up towards the ceiling for waterfall. Bring your palms face down by your sides. Let your hips be nice and heavy. Just a couple breaths here. This is such a nice shape for circulation and blood flow. It'll help carry you through the rest of your day. And then last time, bend the knees in towards your chest. Give them a little squeeze. This time, bring your forehead up to meet your knees. Curl up into a teeny tiny ball. And then release. Find Shavasana. You can take any shape that feels comfortable here. Taking up space on your mat, maybe lying on your back, on your belly, on your side, covering up with a blanket or a pillow. I'd recommend being here for at least 5 minutes. Maybe you just let yourself cruise into a nap.